Now, so what happens if I want to change a particular alphabet in the particular string? So inside this my string 2, so let's say if this string is there, he isn't asking for help, and if I want to change the letter H to, let's say, we take some random letter, let's say we want to change it with the letter I. Okay, so we know if I want to capture the letter H, the way we do it is we simply say my string 2 of 0 and will give me the letter H. Now we are saying that we want to change it with the some random alphabet, let's say I. Okay, and suppose we know in variables we could simply assign this, and in the variables we could change it. So let's try the same technique inside the string. So if I run this, we get a type error. So in the type error, if you read the error that is thrown by Python, it says string object does not support item assignment. So we please remember the fact that in strings you cannot do any kind of assignments. So this way you will not be able to change the string. Okay. The only way you can change this particular string is if you override the string. Alright. The other way what we can do is we can, if you think that you might get confused, the easiest thing to do is, let's say we can delete it. So instead of deleting my string to, let's go for this my string. Okay, so this string is my name is John, and now what I can do is I can simply write the del command and give the variable. So del my string. If I write that, Python is going to delete my string. The way we can check it is, now that we have run and we have gotten a number here. Now if I call out my string again, you will see that is not in the drop down, and even though, like, let's say you want to type in my string and you want to run this, when you run this, it simply says there is a name error, my string is not defined, that is Python has deleted the variable. Okay, now the next thing that we can do is try and understand what are the operations that are available to us on the strings. The first operation that I would like to introduce is the concatenation. By the term concatenation, I mean joining two or more strings together. Okay, so let's first define two strings. So I calling the first string as string 1, and let's say I give it the word hi, and the next string or string 2, and inside this I'm going to give this the letter or the word everyone. Okay, so these are the two strings that I want to work with. Okay, so let's say out of these two strings, string 1 and string 2, now I want to add these two strings together and I want to create a string called hi everyone. Okay, we can do that using the plus operator. That is how concatenation works. So if I say print of string 1 plus string 2, and if I run this, now you can see what Python has done is it has taken string 1 and string 2 and it has added them into one string. But suppose we wanted some space inside these two words, so I wanted to write something like hi space everyone. So there are multiple ways of doing this particular thing. The first way what we can do is we can actually add this particular space that we wanted inside the two strings. So when I'm writing string 1 plus string 2, what I can do is inside this I'll say plus and I give a space and I write plus again. So here you can see I've given a space inside apostrophes. Okay, and Python will understand that I need space between these two strings. So if I run this, we get this particular output that we were looking for. Now let's say if I want Python to understand it automatically, I don't want to give this kind of notation again. Okay, the easiest way we can achieve that is by a comma. So if I write print and I say string 1, now I say comma and I mention string 2. Okay, now if we run this, Python automatically will give a space between these two strings. Okay, alright. So what happens if we actually try to use the arithmetic operators on a particular string? So let's try to see what happens if I take the string 1 that was high and I'm multiplying this 5 times. Okay, if I run this, we get high 5 times, all of them concatenated. So there is no space in between. So this is what happens when you use an arithmetic operator like a multiplication sign on a string. If it were a number, it would actually multiply the number with 5. But if it is a string, it is only going to repeat itself that many number of times. Now, the next thing is, let's say we have a very big string or and we want to check if a particular word is part of that string. So to make our life simple, just let's take the simple example of string 1, which was the word hat. And let's say I just want to check whether I is part of that particular string. So if I say I in string 1, Python will say true because inside the word hi we have this particular alphabet I. Or what we can do is take this my string 1. Okay, it was my string 2. So let's print it out first. So my string 2, and if I run this, this was the string that we had. He isn't asking for help. And let's say I want to check whether we have this word asking inside this particular string in my string 2. It is going to say true. Now what happens if we actually miss this particular word by capitalizing it? So let's say I'm again putting in the word asking, but this time I've given it a capital A. And if I write in my string 2, now Python says it's false. So you have to understand that the way Python is checking is we need a perfect match. We have written the same word asking, but in one place we had small letters. In the other example, we simply capitalize the A. Still, Python says it is false. Okay. And when we have n, we can also use the not n. So let's say if I say asking not n string 2. So this should be true. Okay. Now, coming to the other methods that we have, some of the usual methods that are used on string is one is the lowercase or converting the entire string into uppercase. So let's say if we have this string called asking, and I want to convert the entire string into uppercase, all I have to mention is dot upper, and we done this, and Python is going to give us the entire string in uppercase. Similarly, let's say if we have this string hello, and now I want to convert the entire string into lowercase, and if I write lower, Python is going to convert the entire string into lowercase. So in our example, h also will be converted into the lowercase. If you want to know what are the other methods that are available to us, upper and lower are the most frequently used methods that are used on this particular strings. But let's say you want to understand what are the other string methods that are available to us. What you can do is you can take the string. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to take this my string2 variable. This variable, I'm simply going to mention it dot, and I'll press the tab. So you can see we actually have lot many other methods that are available to us inside Python. And usually not all the methods are used. Depending on the need, you can use this particular method and get your regular output. Okay, so this is what I had for you guys in terms of the strings discussion. Thank you very much.